Assalamu alaikum, I'm Sadiqa Shabazz and welcome back to MGT Style. In today's video, I would like to incorporate a new segment to MGT Style, which is called The Feminine Side of the Culture of Islam, the Nation of Islam. So, welcome to the feminine side of the culture of Islam. Our topic today is modesty. Yes, modesty. So for the last year and a half, I have been studying and analyzing critically modesty from the perspective of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught and demonstrated through the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan. So I have analyzed that this society that we live in is contrary to the teachings of God, the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught through the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan. I have analyzed that this world will promote its immodesty, yet allow you to purchase small articles of clothing that are modest. And I've thought to myself, why? Nice button-up shirt, the sleeves may be off, or the sleeves may be a little bit long, but it's kind of okay, right? So we think, okay, the skirt is a little long, but it's not quite to the standard of Master Father Muhammad, Allah in person, right? So one may be thinking, oh, they're just trying to give diversity, trying to give variety, modesty and immodesty. They're trying to just, appeal to everyone. Not really. So I have studied that they will allow a few articles of clothing of modesty, but they will never, ever allow or promote modesty as the dominant factor over immodesty. I'm going to say that again. When we go to these stores, they may have a few articles of clothing that can be considered modest, that you can, probably wear maybe with a cardigan or something. But those particular modest clothing never dominate over immodest wear. Just think about that, right? And I wondered why. Yeah, because it's contrary to the teachings of God. They want to continue to promote seductive behavior, right? Which is a reflection of, the clothing. Whatever your thoughts are, you're going to produce on the outside, right? You're going to produce whatever your thoughts are, you're going to produce that in your environment, right? So your clothing is really a reflection of the designer, what the designer has or had in mind, excuse me. So I thought that was very, very interesting to think about. And the modest attire that they so-called have, it's boring, it's weak, it lacks magnetism is what I'm trying to say. The magnetism to attract and get your attention to say, oh yes, I want to put that on, I want to represent that. No, their designers create garments to attract you to immodest attire. Number one, the design of the garments that they create, the fabric that they place the design in or create the design in. Then they market it a certain way. So now when you look at modesty, you're like, why it doesn't get the same attention as immodesty? Because it's designed that way here. It's crafted that way here. It's mastermind in that way, that we will have a few pieces of modest attire, but we will not allow modest attire to dominate. Never, ever. So when this sister or this female desires to be modest and try to obey God, we're gonna have immodesty look as though it's the most appealing thing in the world. Girl, why are you wearing that? You should be wearing this. You should be looking like us. You understand? So then the sister who's striving to be modest, she's like, oh my goodness, like I'm not getting the same attention and the attraction that I used to have when I used to wear that, because it's designed that way. And that's something that we really have to pay attention to. It's designed that way for us to feel insecure. You understand? Because if you think about it, okay, I'm gonna switch hats. I'm gonna come from the perspective of a pattern maker. So when we are designing a pattern, it comes from here first, the thought. Then the thought becomes concretized into full-blown action on paper, sketch, or a small miniature model, testing out fabrics. Everything is appealing to the senses, visual, audio, right? Everything is appealing to the senses. Now, for those who design, they appealing to the sexual, right? They appealing to that. So when they're constructing or designing the outfits, that's what they have in mind. Oh, let's accentuate this area of the body. Let's use this sheer fabric. Let's use this spandex fabric. Let's bring it in this area. It's constructed that way. So that is how they promote their agenda to promote the longevity of immodesty. Now, where is the counteract to that? That is the Muslim girl in training garments that we have in the Nation of Islam. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, let me explain. So in the Nation of Islam, we have a holy garment, right? Our holy garments consist of the white holy garment, right? Our blue uniform, our brown uniform, our beige uniform, and all of the various different colors that we have of our garment. When we put on our uniform, automatically the level of respect for the Black woman is raised. People want to open up the doors, people want to bow, people call you queen. People are really interested. Why? Because it is the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that is in that sister who is being trained to be a woman of God and reflect the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So it's the garment, but it's the teaching that is facilitating the attraction in the garment. So when we put on the garments, right, our holy garments, it has magnetism, undeniable magnetism. Everyone stop, stare, ask questions, respect. It's just a level of respect over and over again when you put on the holy garment. Now, so my question is, how do we transcend from the holy garment into garments that we wear every day? Now, outfits that we wear every day, we get them from the enemy stores. That's why we have our training units, so we will learn how to sew and clothe ourselves in the garments that God, Allah, Master Father Muhammad desires of us, right? So, to be continued.